Hello, you are welcome to today's Monday Live, and it's somehow special, right? So special for me because it's my birthday. Yes, and I am happy and delighted to have you here today. You are most welcome. So, how are you doing? How has it been? How is the holiday going? Has it been organized for you? Have you been following the organized 30 days organized holiday challenge on Facebook? If not, you can search me out on Facebook with the name Chioma Okoli and join immediately. You don't want to miss any more day going forward. All right, so today we're going to have a very important conversation, right? There's this wise saying that you don't prepare for war when the war is on. Okay, people who go to war and win are those who prepared for it, right? So in Igbo, we have this adage that Aya Karaka adịghị nwa ngwụrọ. Okay, school is on holiday now. But for those of us who have children that have been in school or whose children will be starting school for the first time in September, I actually belong to the two categories. My first child has been in school, and my second child will be starting school this September. And you know what? We don't have to wait until school resumes and we are wondering why, aside paying school fees, paying for everything about the school and getting a very wonderful and good looking lunch bags and school backpack and all of that. What other preparations exactly can you make to ensure that your child succeeds not just in school but in life generally? Because I tell you this, people who succeed academically and in other areas of life don't just start succeeding because they are lucky. No, it wasn't luck. They didn't strike something. It's not luck. It's not luck. Yeah, I know about people who are born genius, right? But not even all geniuses go ahead to live a feeling life. Not all geniuses are successful in life. So genius is about IQ, right? Yes. The conversation about genius focuses solely on the child's IQ. But there are other areas that are actually important in a child's success equation. IQ, EQ, emotional intelligence, SQ, social intelligence, SQ, social intelligence. I mean, spiritual intelligence. There are a whole lot of intelligences. Why are we only focusing on IQ? Okay. So am I saying your child shouldn't do well in school? Of course, your child should do well in school. Your child should do well in school. And you should actually champion that. You should actually engineer that. But not to an extent that you're like a headmaster with a cane over a pupil and just waiting for the child to bring back a result that is not what you want. And you go firing and all of that. No, that's not the kind. So today we're going to have a conversation on the topic academic success in children. Three practical steps you must start taking today, not tomorrow, today. September is a bit far. Yeah, today is just for August. Schools may resume first or second week of September. But if you start putting these practical steps into place, right, and make it a habit, a culture in your home, I tell you what, your children won't just do well in school and in life generally. Even your own life will take a different turn. And I kid you not. I kid you not. Right? Okay, so let's go right ahead into the conversation for the day. All right? So, okay, what exactly is academic success in children? Can we try to have a definition? Do you have a definition yourself? Aside a child who takes first, second, or maybe the first five or six position or first 10 positions in the class, what else do you call academic success in children? Or what will you see in your child and you say, my child is successful academically, right? Let's take a look at this definition. So academic success in children could be said to hinge, or academic success in children hinges on the development of strong curiosity, the development of a strong curiosity, language, social and problem solving skills that form the foundation for lifelong learning. For lifelong learning. So whatever you're doing with your child already, or whatever you do with your child going forward, make sure that it is centered on this development of curiosity, strong curiosity at that, language, social and problem solving skill. There is such a thing as social skills. And even if your child knows it all but cannot get other people to cooperate with him in what he wants to do, your child will not be successful. And even you that is listening to me, if you are, the hottest of heads in your class, but you can't get other people to jump in on your initiatives so that things will be done. You have the best of initiatives, but it remains as initiatives. It never takes life. That's not success. That's not success. That's why many of us who have so many pretty ideas in our heads but never make it to life. Many of such persons die obscure and poor because why? Because the solutions they have never made it to the hands of those who needed it. And so the children we are raising right now are not children who just consume content and consume stuff. They are children who will create. They are children who can imagine solutions to problems and bring those solutions to the doorsteps of those who need it. That is success simplified. Okay. So let's look at the key words that we should focus on. There are two: strong curiosity and lifelong learning. So a lot of people, I mean a lot of graduates, are in that space where they're like, I will never read anything again. If they have to write the exam, they feel pathetic, they feel angry, they feel every emotion but enthusiastic. They just don't like this reading thing, this exam thing. And guess what? Yours truly was in that WhatsApp group. But I was one of those people who, somebody once posted on her status that the person that invented examination should be crucified. And I was like, yes, why do we even have to have examination? Like, why? But imagine that the doctor or the nurse that attends you in the hospital was never examined in school. By the way, I hope the doctor and nurses you use are people that that were actually trained and examined. Okay. Imagine that. What are the key areas of life? Imagine that the lawyer who is defending you in court or who is advising you legally was never supervised in a school. Can you imagine the loss? Okay. So aside examination, one should have a lifelong hunger for learning. Because it's only when you have the hunger to learn, that's when you will pursue knowledge in every front. That's why people who are doing well and sustain it, if they tell you how voracious they are for knowledge, even you'll be like, like no wonder. Nobody who is crushing it in the area of industry is relaxing. No, they are not. They are not. There is a price to greatness. There is a price to success. And if we want our children to succeed academically, we must show them the way to pay the price. We must show them the way to pay the price so that the love for lifelong learning will be there. Another keyword I want us to look at is strong curiosity. Have you ever looked at something and you're like, how was this done? How on earth was this done? And you're challenged to say, I will take a look at this and I'll find out how it was done and I'll replicate it. I'll tell you it's the story of someone who modeled this. Um, his name is Walter Chrysler. If you know the the car brand Chrysler, it's not common here in Nigeria, but probably it's a US based car manufacturer automobile company. So hopefully those of us in US you should be conversant with Chrysler automobile or people in other areas. I know I've seen cars with that label before, but it's been a long time. I think in over 10 years, I don't think I've seen a car with that. But I used to have interest in cars. So each time I see a car, I must look at the name. The first area my eyes or my interest goes is where the name is written. So I can close my eyes and count 10 car brands without thinking. Yeah, I've been that interested in cars and automobiles. So Walter Chrysler was one person who wanted to go into the automobile. And you know what he did? He would buy a new car and separate it, tore it apart piece by piece, note the strong parts and note the weak parts, and then reunite the car parts together. He did this several times with different car brands. And by the time he felt he had done a good job with all of the best cars around, he now set out to start producing his own. And you know what he did? He focused on the strengths of all of the cars he had tried to put apart and remove their weak points so that when he was done manufacturing his car only had the strong parts of all of the different brands he had reviewed. How was he able to do this? Because he had a curiosity. Every child is born with a natural curiosity to learn. Have you ever found yourself doing something and your child wants to put the head inside your pot of soup because they want to see what you're doing? My own children, they have a stool that they climb on when you're cooking in the kitchen. So they can have, in fact, if it is possible, they want a stool that, that will be that when they stand, they'll be taller than me so that they can see every damn thing happening inside the pot. Or you're washing clothes and your child just wants to come in and stay close and see what you're doing or even join you. That's the natural curiosity. Don't stifle it. It can be inconveniencing as an adult to have a child stay around you and showing those curiosity because you feel to slow you down. You feel there's nothing the child is doing and all of that and all of that. Please don't kill that child's curiosity. Entertain it. Entertain it. It may take you more time initially. It will make the work more messy, okay? But how else will they learn? One day you would retire and you want them to do all of those works. But how would they be able to do it if you never give them the opportunity to learn? All right. So, um, lifelong learning and um, strong curiosity, these are two keywords you should keep your eyes on. So, what are the activities that parents can put into place to foster these two? Number one is model curiosity and the love of learning. Have you ever seen your child doing something you're like, oh, what's this? Can you tell me what this is about? Or can you tell me how you came about this or how this was made and all of that? You're modeling curiosity and the love for learning. The other day I told my son, I want us to learn how to make bole. I really do not know how to make that, but I enjoy it a lot. Roasted bole, the roadside roasted bole. Well, it's a common roadside food in Nigeria. If you're not in Nigeria and you don't know what I'm talking about, sorry. But roasted bole is roasted plantain with beans and lots of orish. It's very delicious. If you've not eaten it before, you want to try it out. Okay. So I told him that I want to learn. Sorry about the noise in the background. Okay, sorry about that. So I told my son I wanted us to learn how to make it because plantain season will soon come. And one of the things we do in my family is that we try to eat fruits in season. So when yam is more in season, we eat more of yam. When it is plantain, we switch. And we don't do just fried plantain. So we could do plantain as a main meal. So I told him, I want us to learn how to make this boy. I went on YouTube. We searched and searched and searched. And I finally saw a clip and I said, okay, come, let's watch this one. And we watched it. I told him, ah, that was, several times after we watched that clip, he had asked me severally, Mommy, should we watch that thing again or did you learn how to cook it? I said, I learned how she cooked it, so we're going to try it out and then see if it's like if we should watch it again, let's watch it again. Oh, he said, no, don't worry. We'll cook it and you see that I learned it. That is me showing him that I don't know everything. And if I don't know something, I go to learn it. I go search how to learn it. All right. The next activity is allow play-based learning or exploration. Oftentimes, we want children to sit still. We want them to be adults who just sit. Even adults are not encouraged to sit one place. But oftentimes, we expect children to sit one place and just be there and nothing. If you're in that category, please come out. Children learn through play and exploration. Allow them that space. Allow them that space. And the next one is encourage confidence through process and not only outcome. Employ process-based parenting, not outcome-based parenting. Outcome-based is that you just want things to be done. You don't care how it was done. You don't care how it was done. You just want it to get done. No. It is in that process. Be with the child. Stay close to the child so that as the child is doing what he or she is doing, you're able to say, this one shouldn't be because of ABC. Morals are not taught in isolation. Principles are not taught in isolation. Principles are not concepts. Principles are things that should be lived out. And it is in processes, it is in process that you teach your child this. Okay. The next is ask open-ended questions. Ask questions where your child is able to think and give you an explanation for something they've done or something they are doing or something they want to do. So sometimes my children comes and says, Mommy, I want to do this, or Mommy, want to do this. I'll be like, okay. So a simple example is washing plates. If you've listened to previous Monday lives here, you'll hear me talk about washing plates often. You know, it's simple, but a lot of things go in there. So sometimes I take my son to the kitchen and we're like, okay, so we want to wash plates. What are the things that we need to put in place? Okay, I'll get bowl, he'll go and get it. I'll arrange the plates, he will do that. We'll pour water inside the bowls, he will do that. He will get a chair, his stool, and move it close to the sink. He'll stand on it. And rinse and he's dropping it on those. Being able to know the things you need for the task ahead and gathering of I asking the open-ended question, what do we do now that we are ready to wash plates? Or what do you do now that you're ready to wash plates? Open-ended questions. You're teaching your child how to respond to questions, even outside of the home. You're teaching your child how to approach problem solving. And once your child catches that, it doesn't even matter if the child is in church or in school or anywhere or in the market. All right. So the next is allow guided or supervised risk taking. So currently I have a 9 months going to 10-month-old baby son. And there is there is there is a rail close to my window. So for like he started the interest of I noticed the interest of him wanting to stand at the edge of my bed and hold on to the rails at about 6 months. Okay. So what I would usually do is that I'll grab like 4 pillows and drop them around the floor and drop them on the floor beside my bed so that when he's falling, he has a soft place to land on. Even if I take him away from there, he'll still crawl back to that place. And so sometimes instead of the two of us, I will take him away, he'll go back, or maybe I'll change the place completely. You know, that's climbing instinct, or that's wanting to climb, to explore, to see who if anybody's out. Because sometimes he stands there and he makes sounds like trying to call somebody and all of that. That is a risk, right? Yeah, it's a risk that he can actually fall from the edge of my bed and hits his head on the floor, or just get on the floor. But I know that risk. I know that um I should allow him take the risk, but I will guide it. I will supervise it by making sure that there is nothing in that immediate environment that will hurt him, even if he falls. And if he eventually falls, he's going to fall on something soft. We should allow our children to take risks, but we should guide the risk. We should supervise it, no matter the age. You've given your infant food and the child is making moves that is showing that he wants to feed him or herself. If it's finger food, allow the child. Allow the child. It will mess the clothes if you're not putting on an apron. If you didn't put a bib, or you didn't wear the child an apron, it will mess the clothes. But then the child should learn. The motor movements, the brain, brain coordination of getting the hand to successfully get the food into the mouth is something that stimulates the brain, further the brain development. I don't want to stifle that. No, we do not. All right. So the next activity is create an environment that stimulates learning. Let your children see books in your room. Let them see books in their room. Let them see books let them see books often. Enough of the screens everywhere. Enough of the screens everywhere. Let them see, let the environment stimulate learning. Let them see you read. Let them see the adults in the environment to read. It's an environment that stimulates learning. All right. So, what are the 3 practical steps you should take? Number one is set routines and schedules in place that will give opportunity for this. So, you could say that in the morning, um, I'll read to my child, or maybe in the evening before bedtime, I'll read for I'll read to my child for like 10 minutes. Or you could say, okay, I will allow my child to play outside for 30 to 45 minutes every day. Or my child is going to do a coloring every afternoon during the holiday. Or your child is going to practice something, practice reading, practice writing, practice um, coloring, hands-on exploration, or hand-based activities. Or that your child will be in the kitchen with you. These are very important. These are very important. And they make it a routine so that it will happen often. And allocate time to it. That makes it a schedule. So that you don't wake up one day and say, I forgot, or anything. And as you're setting the routines and the schedules in place, you also need an accountability system that will hold you accountable. And so that even when you sleep, because you definitely, all of us do sleep, so that when you sleep, there is there is a system that is keeping you accountable. And that's what we do in the Royalty Conclave of the Expedient Parent Academy, the Royalty Conclave program, which is a community that I run for parents with children aged 0 to 6. All right. So I'm going to drop the link for the Royalty Conclave in the comment section below. So take a look at it and um, and join us. The next cohort is starting exactly 1 month today, on the 4th of September. All right. So the second practical step is to Let your home mimic a formal learning institution. Let your home mimic a formal learning institution. Example, you know that in schools, okay, let me use my child's school for an instance. So, um, morning assembly is by 7:20 a.m. and ends by 7:40. So by 7:50 is attendance and roll call and all of that. 8 o'clock classes begin. Around 10:30 is lunch. And then somewhere, it's partitioned. The time till dismissal has something that should be done. Even if it is idle, it means the children can sit and play, or the children can lie down and sleep. For those of us that have children in the nursery section, okay, of course they have sleep or siesta as part of their schedule. So let your home mimic a learning institution. Let there be something that is done in the morning. Let there be a set of activities that is a morning routine in your house. Let there be a set of activities that are afternoon routines in your house. Let there be a set of activities that are evening routines or evening activities. And then you could say during weekdays, this is how this goes, but weekends, this is how we do it for ABC reasons. Your home cannot be lawless and scheduleless, and you expect your child to go to a school that has rules and schedules and thrive. That child will struggle. And it is because you didn't prepare the child. Okay. So the last practical step is last and the third practical step is to evaluate your results frequently. So you're teaching your child how to, possibly read, but your child is finding it difficult. Okay, so or you're trying to help your child to learn how to read, and you probably started with two-letter words, and then maybe you progress to three-letter words and all of that. So when you're done teaching, after a while, allow your child to go through that again. Is your child able to pick up? If your child is not picking up, then it means your child is not learning, and you should work on it from your end. Okay, so these are the three practical steps that if you put in place with the knowledge of everything we've talked about, I can assure you that your child will not just succeed in school, succeed in life generally. And if you enjoy this class and you listen to this extent, I am happy that you did listen to this extent. And I do hope that it's been worth your time. I do hope it's been worth your time. And if you want to hear more of this, I invite you to the getting your child ready for for school learning. Get 6, whether your child has been in school, your child is going back to school, is going to start school for the first time. You want to be in this course. Okay. I'll show you in practical terms. It's a 2 days course. And in the space of that 2 days, I'm going to show you how exactly to get your child ready for school. Don't let your child discover school and be shocked by what is going on there. There are skills that your child must master before you send him or her off to school. And no, I'm not talking about boarding school. I'm talking about nursery and primary. And for those of you that even send your children to crèche, you're also going to be in that class. All right. So I'm also going to drop the link to the course in the comment section, and do well to learn more about it and join the course. And if you're able to join, you are going to have perks, free resources worth over 10,000 naira. And hey, I look forward to having you in that class. If we must have the next generation of children who will be more successful than those before us, and this moment that we're into, then we must do better than our parents did. It's not optional. If we must have children who will do better than we are doing and those that were before us, then we must do differently. It's not should we or should we not. The conversation has left that. It is that we should have started yesterday. But thank God for today. We can start today. So if you are raising children within the ages of 0 to 6, please hurry, hurry, and start doing what you should do. Don't relax. They will never remain this young. But the imprint we lay in these first 6 years would stand strong to guide them through the years to come. Remember that biblical injunction that train up a child in the way he should go, and he shall not depart from it when he grows older. But what if the way we are raising our children is not in the way they should go? It means they will definitely depart from it when they grow older. That can be scary. That can be scary. So hurry now and join both the course and the reality conclave. I can assure you, parenting will not remain the same, and your life will not remain the same too. Thank you so much for joining me. I am excited. I'm honored to have had you here. All right. So do have an amazing, amazing, amazing day.